stuck in your nose?
Yes.
Just in your nose, not anywhere else? Where do they live?
Brain?
Sneezes live in your brain?
I don't know.
Science.
Yeah. You know what I realized today that I really miss when we were watching How to Train Your Dragon?
Fantasy movies?
Movies being like a tight 90 minutes.
What was that, 205, I think?
It was too long. It was too long.
Well, it depends on what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Wicked did not feel like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it felt like 4.
No.
Ugh.
It felt like an hour and a half.
Also, like the original How to Train Your Dragon was like an hour 40. So they extended it somehow like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't know.
What was even added?
I kept like periodically checking my phone just because we had like other stuff going on, and I would see the time just like, oh my God, it's only been half an hour. Oh my God, it's only been an hour.
I think I think part of that is because you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, that could be.
Because they didn't change anything. Because
yeah.
I'm like, okay, just get to the part where Hiccup starts learning about the dragons.
But we'd also not like it if they did change stuff. So
it's a slippery slope that doesn't. I think it works for that, and it was fine for Lilo and Stitch, but it's just like creatively bankrupt when you do this and you go back to the well like this.
Yeah.
Sequels aren't necessarily the same thing unless you're like, you really got to tell something different, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it worth it? Is it advancing the story? Or are you just trying to make a quick buck? Because like the thing you sent me about Pixar being like, we're doing sequels. One year we're going to do a sequel and an original. And it's like they're hedging their bets because the originals have been tanking. So they're just like, just in case, we're going to make Toy Story 5. And then we're going to do not this movie.
The only thing is like, when did 2 hours plus become the standard for movies?
I mean, I think, well, back in the day, it used to be longer just because they didn't want to leave anything on the cutting room floor. Like they're like,
well, because it's super expensive.
It was very expensive. And they're like, we're just making this thing long. And they'd be like, I could hack this thing up.
But I mean, it was there like, I don't know, what was Sound of Music? That's so long that they had to have an intermission, but it's like all great,
Solid. Everything's perfect.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my complaint. Anyways.
I think part of it's storytelling. It's like, can you tell your story in 90 minutes? And a lot of these people don't know how to do it anymore. It's like, I don't think they want to cut anything. Because like, we want people to get their money's worth. I'm like, no, if you told me the same story in an hour and 40 minutes, I'd be happy.
But like, you want people to get our money's worth yet. Like, we want to see the new Mission Impossible, but we are waiting until that comes out because it's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, it's too long.
So it's like, no, I would rather have a 90-minute movie, be in and out, and like, like I said, by the time we got home today, it's like we have committed 4 hours of our day.
Unless it's the extended Lord of the Rings cut.
Yeah, well, of course.
I mean,
commentary.
Well, also, like, not, but like 5 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, Endgame when we sat through that. I'm like, that's almost 3 hours. I was happy to do it.
Yeah. So I think it does really come down to the storytelling.
I think for epic movies, they kind of have to for some of those, but like for How to Train Your Dragon, extending it 25 minutes didn't make sense.
I feel like any kids movie should only be 90 minutes.
Our kids were struggling. Ronan fell asleep.
Any movie where the target audience is like
8.
Yeah. It's like
guys,
90 minutes max.
What happened where you had to literally add 20 minutes to this? What couldn't you follow on the original blueprint of this movie?
I don't know.
That you like had to like add stuff because it didn't feel like there was much added anyways, but like
it's probably just like scenes extended like a teeny bit here and there, That's
a lot of teeny bits here and there.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, we're derailing, even though, what are we even talking about?
Well,
wait, we haven't started. Hang on that note. Yes, the champagne's been popped. Yes, the wine is flowing, and you know where we're going. We're going back to our tour guide, Captain Zach. So we always beans or Jana or beans. What are we talking about? Because I already forgot.
Well, this is more your show.
This is mine? No.
Yeah, you said that you want to talk about if Disney opens a 5th gate.
Which, wild speculation that is happening.
Yes. So there is some
stuff
going
my idea?
Around the interwebs of Disney has been like filing permits or getting approval and everything, and it's pointing towards like a 5th gate. And I'm guessing if it is, it will get announced at D23 this Labor Day weekend.
So we want to
Coming
make
up,
wild
you know.
speculations on what we'd like it to be or what we think it might be. I guess is the idea.
Dude, this is your thing.
I said this? I don't remember this.
Yes.
Well, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, now let's talk about this because I have thoughts about this. It's also seems like a huge knee-jerk reaction to Universal anyways because they're like, we have to get one up on them now.
Oh, that reminds me. Josh D'Amaro was seen
In Universal.
at Epic talking to...
Ooh. If
Yeah,
he doesn't get that
people
CEO
there.
job, he's going to be like, I'm leaving.
I don't know. I mean, you know, they play nice, you know, when it comes down to it.
Iger needs to go.
Yes, and supposedly tomorrow is like getting
He's
groomed for it.
primed for it, I think, isn't he?
I would love it.
But if he doesn't get it,
Well, we're not talking about that right now. I was just saying
Okay.
that he was at Epic
if
earlier this week.
If this fifth gate is a real thing, I think it's directly because they're just like threatened by Universal at this point.
Yeah.
Because if they got to build another park from scratch in this day and age of like, because they haven't done it since what, 1998, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the state of Disney World sometimes as a whole, you've got vacant properties all over
Yeah.
those parks.
Well,
and disarrayed,
and
dated.
well, here's the thing too
rides.
about a fifth gate. Yes, I do think it'd be great, but you're already doing all these things where you are changing your current 4 parks
Yeah.
so much. Like you've just annihilated the Muppets. You know, you added this new villain show. You're adding a whole new Villains Land, a Cars Land,
You're getting rid of a water feature that everyone loves.
Tropical Americas, and Indiana Jones at Animal Kingdom.
What's the Cars place called that's going to ruin Haunted Mansion's aesthetic out there?
I think it's Piston Peak.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Like, I'm going to, like, that view is going to be utter garbage.
It just like it makes no sense either how they're just kind of spreading
Well,
this
if you think about like
throughout the parks.
maybe they'll do it correctly with like
Mhm.
how the aesthetic works of like if you stare at this play you see it's so much so that to the point of like you're staring at a Morocco and you still see the Tower of Terror back there to match
Yeah.
the aesthetic. You are not doing that right here. There's no way this is going to
They're
work.
not thinking about that.
No, they're like, we don't care about that anymore. I'm like, no, there was a lot of people that actually did care about that. And like your attention to detail. And now you're just like, quick, we have to build stuff now. We have to get
Yeah.
rid of the water stuff. I don't care if it, they're like, it's old, get rid of it. I'm like, yeah, not many people went to Tom Sawyer's Island. Not many people rode the riverboat, but they're there for a reason.
Yeah, because Walt
People
loved it.
need to see water also.
Water is scientifically proven to have a calming effect on people, which I think is super important in a
No, when you see
theme
Lightning
park.
McQueen driving around right next to the Haunted Mansion, because it makes
It
sense.
is going to have a lot of water features in Piston
I
Peak,
don't care. It's
But-
not a moat.
but that's not what we're talking about. We're
Well,
talking
well,
about
before I
what
go into-
would
well,
they
before I
possibly
speculate, though,
put in a
Well,
fifth park.
Well, it's like you have all these updates you're making and all these like vacant areas. Like the Stitch ride is still just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, what are you doing for like, you're gonna like drop all this other stuff and be like, I'm not gonna take care of what I have already
Mm-hmm.
to try to make this better. We're just gonna do this really fast. Or actually, knowing Disney, it's gonna take like 20 years or something like that. It's like by the time they finish it, it's gonna be outdated
Yeah.
because technology is moving exponentially faster now.
Technology moves very quickly, and Disney has never kept up with it.
No, I mean, look at Millennium Falcon. It's just like
Yeah.
my least favorite ride. I think of. I would rather ride Journey in Imagination with Figment than go on Millennium Falcon. I'd rather wait in line for Millennium Falcon than get on
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
should
those
not
statements.
want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Shouldn't be more excited about Lion Q than the ride itself.
yeah, I'm like, this is.
Although, Tower of Terror, I mean,
that is one of those ones I do like the Lion Q almost as much as the ride.
it's like
So
I will go wait in that Lion Q without riding the ride.
give me some of that tension. But like before, like I speculate on what they could do or what they should do. It's like fix your house, get your house in order before you build something else. I feel like get that running at like peak perfection because you don't. It ain't running like that. But then they're like, we're gonna build all this other stuff. I'm like, guys, why don't you just like do subtle updates and fix things first before you just start just throwing crap around like this? I don't know. I agree with like, hey, what you're doing to Dino Land, that's fine. Get that done. That seems like a good update.
Yeah.
But some of these other ones, I'm just like, is this worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze on some of this stuff? I don't know. What would you want to see in a fifth gate though?
That's the thing, is that
Lord of the
I
Rings
don't.
world.
No, Universal already has that, and in their new park they're building in England.
It's really too bad that they don't own Harry Potter because they could just do a whole Harry Potter park. It sucks.
But you know what? Universal's knocking that one out of the park right now.
I know, but like,
So
it's smart that
it is because
it's smart that you have to
of Universal having Harry Potter that we do have like
competition.
Galaxy's Edge and other competition, because Universal was the first to do that fully immersive theme park experience with Harry Potter, because Disney originally had the rights to do a Harry Potter whatever that they wanted to do, and they were originally going to do 2 attractions in Fantasyland, and I forget what the attractions actually were, but it was pretty lame,
Sounds like it would be terrible,
and
actually.
JK ended up passing on them because of creative disagreements and everything, and went to the next highest bidder, Universal, and thank God Universal got it, because they have done that absolutely right. And again, they did the first immersive experience like that to make you actually feel like you are now in this world.
My problem though, the first park, you could still see outside the park, and they fixed it with the second one.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in Diagon Alley, you're only in Diagon Alley.
Mm-hmm.
When you're walking down the street of like,
but at the same time, it's like they worked with the space that they had.
I know that it's still great because I love being in the castle.
Yeah.
I love what they did with that, but it's just like it takes you out of it a bit when you look and you see like Jurassic Park.
We haven't had a chance to go to Epic yet, but we know how that area looks. It's
insane,
freaking amazing.
And it's like, I understand why they did this, but I would like a one park that's all of it. But the idea of like you have to have a park hopper, it's a money thing. It makes sense.
Yeah, but we're digressing again.
But like,
we're not talking about Universal.
I would like to see an entire. They wouldn't do this, but an entire actual Star Wars themed land.
Yeah,
and do it correctly.
So that's the thing, is like, it's like, well, what are the big properties? Like Star Wars is one, but you already have such a significant section of Star Wars in Hollywood Studios at Galaxy's Edge. So unless they do something like Universal's done with like Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios between the 2 Harry Potters.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on here, but like if you did a new park like that, between like if you wanted to like base it on planets. You have like a Moss, you have Tatooine, and then to go from Tatooine to another one, you cannot see the other part of the parks. You have to either walk through like a warp tunnel, or you get on a transport that makes you feel like you're going to Coruscant.
Yeah.
And then you go from Coruscant, you go to like wherever else. Like you go to Naboo, or you go to like Endor's moon. Like there's other like. You have like you can do the spoke and hub kind of thing where it's like actually based like out, but you can't see the other worlds from where you are.
Yeah, but I just don't know that they would do a whole 5th gate dedicated to Star Wars.
You know how dope Coruscant would look like?
No, I would love it. I just don't think.
And each would have like
they would do it
like at least 2 rides and different cuisines in each one.
And here's the thing too: they're not going to necessarily do something Marvel. Because
I don't think that would be
well, I'm just saying, because as we know, Universal has a Marvel section, and they had a 100-year lease that was signed in the 1980s on Marvel, and then it's just like,
so Marvel was like a dead brand.
Yeah, well, and then when Disney bought Marvel,
they're like, oh crap.
The stipulation was anything east of the Mississippi, Disney cannot use those characters.
So it's like Hulk, Spider-Man, X-Men, Doctor Doom, but they can use Guardians of the Galaxy.
Captain America they can't use.
And I guess Iron Man?
Yeah, I don't think they can use Iron Man.
Yeah.
I mean, those are,
so it's like all
with Captain America and Iron Man, those are 2 pretty huge characters that you'd exclude.
That's Fantastic Four too, because that's like Doctor Doom, so they might be in there too. So
which is their new movie.
Well, at the time, they're probably like Guardians of the Galaxy, a talking tree and a raccoon. Yeah. No, we don't care about that. So
yeah, so they would be pretty limited with what they could do if they did something Marvel.
What would you like to see?
I mean, I'd like a whole Star Wars park, but again, I don't think that's going to happen,
well, I mean,
especially with how the Star Cruiser failed.
A whole Pirates of the Caribbean park.
No, I do not want to see that. But the thing is, it's
haunted park.
But no. So here's the thing. So you've already got Star Wars significantly represented in Hollywood Studios. You've got Pixar very well represented both at Hollywood Studios and coming soon Magic Kingdom with
Yeah.
cars, and you do have the
You still
the
have
Monsters
like
left.
Monsters Inc. and you
Yeah.
have Buzz Lightyear, but like
yeah.
I guess you'd have to still break it up, like kind of like how Epic is. It's like 5 sections of like, what if you had like pick like a theming thing of like we're doing these 5 things here. Like, what do you think? Because like the other ones are pretty themed. Like Epcot was like a progress, futuristic kind of idea, and then Land and Sea and like all these other things in World Showcase, Animal Kingdom, obviously. MGM has lost its way, but it used to be movies. What would you want to see?
I don't know.
Like, what would that even
I don't
be?
know. And here's the thing too, if we're comparing it to Epic did 3 properties for their thing that are their own lands.
And then 2 originals.
And then 2 originals.
Well, Universal Monsters is technically...
Well, no, it's Dark Universe, but it's Universal Monsters within Dark Universe. But they still created a whole environment for them to live in together.
And hopefully it kind of boosts the idea
And then
of
Celestial
like those
Park
characters
is
again,
just brand spanking new.
Yeah. So like, do you foresee it if it did happen, like just an offshoot of like Magic Kingdom? Kind of like just a similar kind of theming?
No.
Or you think it'd be something completely different?
I think they'd still go with like a hub and spoke design.
Yeah. But like,
But-
and they design it probably super well in terms of like how it is laid out, I would hope. But like,
And they've got enough land to do it.
I mean, what would you do though? Do you think they'd have to do all original stuff, or you think they just take original, like their properties and build out from those? I don't know what they would do.
I don't either.
Like, what would you, like, you'd have to have some sort of like North Star, like guiding you for this. And I don't know what they would choose.
I don't know that creatively
I don't think they could figure it out.
they can do it.
Well, it's like, I don't think they know what kids like these days either.
Yeah.
Because kids are hard to pin down these days because they're all tablet
and not just
brain
like
rotted.
pinned down these days, but I remember back when I was working at the store, or maybe I had like just recently left the store, so like 2018 timeframe, they were saying we are going to shift merchandise in the store from kid-centric to adult-centric. And we saw it, you know, where they started doing fewer and fewer and fewer kids things in the store and much more adult stuff.
So you think they're going to try to appeal to adults more?
I think they may
Universal?
either try to appeal to adults more. And it's kind of funny because Universal is trying to appeal to kids more now.
Yeah.
You know, they're big. When I did my training back in February, March, one of the things that our guide was telling us was just like, you know, we're really pushing the concept of Universal is for everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's like
Well,
what they're trying to make their tagline right
It
now.
always felt like a more grown-up park because it was all movies. Like when I used to go, like when we first started going, it was like Jaws, Back to the Future, E.T., King Kong.
What I was saying is that, like, you know, 7 years ago, Disney started targeting adults more. And I think during that time frame, they probably lost a lot of the people who knew the kids stuff, you know, and now they don't really know how to cater to kids more. I don't know. Because if you think of Star Wars, like Galaxy's Edge, that's not for kids.
No.
For the most part.
Like,
I mean,
is and it isn't. But
they, like, our kids have fun and everything, but they don't care that
They
much
never
if they
wanna,
see,
like
Kylo Ren.
well, they'd rather go on Star Tours.
Yeah.
That's it. They'd rather just go on that over and over, which
Right,
I'm fine with.
yeah, I love Star Tours.
It's not going to be like, if it's dark rides, it's not going to be your typical dark ride. It's going to be set up more like Mickey's Runaway Railway or Ratatouille. I guarantee that. You're never going to have any of the classic ones.
You say you like Ratatouille, like a bad thing, but Ratatouille still has like
I'm saying
a
that's
set,
a good thing.
you
Like
know?
that it's like, that it's going to be more advanced dark rides, which I like the idea of that. I
like the cardboard.
I still like that too, but I just don't think it's going to fly
Plywood.
anymore.
And the black lights. I like that.
Well, I'm looking forward to Mr. Toad because it's all like plywood just flying at you. It's the
Yeah.
same as it's the Winnie the Pooh. That's all it is. It's like so janky kind of how it is, but like I don't know what you focus on though.
Yeah.
Because like as far as a brand goes, like newer stuff, there's not that many things that have been impactful. I think.
So right now
You
this
could do
is
Inside
like
Out. I think might be an interesting thing to
an
tackle.
episode to nowhere.
Well, I just don't know what to speculate on it because like I could tell you what I'd like to see,
Yeah.
but I just don't know what they would do.
Well, what would you? Let's start with that. What would you like to see?
What if
Don't think about like what's feasible and what they'd actually do. What would you like to see?
adventure?
Can you expound on that?
I think you make you don't give Indiana Jones to Animal Kingdom. You make an actual Indiana Jones section to this.
Okay, though, hang on.
Yeah.
You can't change what they're already doing.
Okay. You could just make a different Indiana Jones then.
So just a new Indiana Jones section.
Yeah, I want that.
All right, hang on. Let's build out. Let's build out our park. We've got our
If I had my druthers,
hub.
you're saying?
And we've got 5 lands. How would you fill out those 5 lands? And what would your hub be? Your main
I would
street?
kind of copy the Paris route and have a Jules Verne section too. Like a 20,000 Leagues, Journey to the Center of the Earth kind of stuff happening like that. I think that'd be kind of fun to go along with my Indiana Jones.
So kind of doing more like author.
I'm going to go only with things I like.
Can we have a Shakespeare section?
No. I think I'd still like, okay, not necessarily Haunted Mansion, but like kind of like how the Universal Monsters happens. Something like a haunted kind of section, like a spookier section. It doesn't have to be a Haunted Mansion thing, but something like...
But I mean, that's kind of what they're doing with the Villains Land right now, is to make it a spookier section.
I mean, also to go along with the adventure, I'd still like to see more expanded pirates. Something along the lines of the Shanghai Pirates could live there. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I want to see. I want to see these expanded, like rides that I love. I want expanded areas of that is what I want to see. Because when I'm in these places,
I'm
I want to see...
surprised you're not going the route of your dead park idea.
Yeah, the dead park. Well, I kind of am, because like I have 20,000 Leagues part, more pirates. I want these expanded into like actual areas. Because like when I'm in Tortuga area, I love it, but it's like you walk 10 feet and you're almost out, you know?
Oh, wait till we go to Disneyland.
I know, but like...
It's even less.
But like if you actually built these out like this and not so like spread out of like this, because like the Epic Universe is benefiting from being like, this is what we're doing. It's these 5 things or 6, whatever it is. Because like if you look at Fantasyland, like they had like it's spread out like that. I like that. But like if you're doing like a new one, you could really focus in on some stuff that like you could expand. Like I do want like a Pirates stunt show and a different Pirates ride. Don't get rid of the other one. Do not touch that. But like,
man, I forgot that used to be the rumor going around the rumor mill, was that they were going to replace Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular with a pirate stunt show.
A pirate stunt show would be so good.
I forgot about that. Was like 2013ish that was up in the air.
I don't know. Like, I'm just spitballing here, but like, I don't think you need it. I mean, I don't think a Star Wars land would fit in this. It's like for Star Wars, you'd like do everything or nothing, I think, for a new thing. I don't think you do a piece of it. Unless you do it right. I mean, maybe another Galaxy's Edge in this area. But actually do Tatooine or something more interesting like Coruscant.
As much as I love Naboo, I would not want them to do that.
I don't think Naboo would be interesting.
Well,
I don't think Tatooine
because it's like
would be
you just go to the Amalfi Coast, you know.
If Coruscant were done right, you could do like levels of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it actually goes up as a theme park, which would be kind of crazy if you built it up like that.
Well, that's how Super Nintendo World is.
Well, I know. I'm talking about higher than that. Like we have like levels, like like in the later episodes of like Ahsoka or like Clone Wars when they go like the depths of like Coruscant, like that kind of stuff.
You're getting close to the crust.
Yeah. Well, like when like in episode 2 when like the assassin like is running through the bottom and the guy's like, you want some death sticks? Like that's the kind of stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
And like you can just get some crazy immersive characters stuff and like those kind of things. Like what would you want to see?
You know.
Oh, if we were doing writers, we could do that. The spooky part could be the Edgar Allan Poe section. How's that? If you wanted to go to the writer's section.
Oh, God, that'd be terrifying.
What is it? Robert Louis Stevenson with like the
Pirates.
For pirates.
So you're making a literary park.
We can do a literary park. Yeah, I just fixed it. There you go.
That'd be wild and very not Disney.
No, it wouldn't be. It'd be kind of cool though. Actually,
it would be very cool.
Now that thinking about it, I'm like,
Can we have a Jane Austen section?
No.
Oh.
What are you gonna have? Like a Mr. Darcy like
Pemberley
meet and greet.
Yeah.
Man, you're just like, yes, this is...
Oh my gosh, yes.
Colin Firth is there.
Yes, 1,000 times, yes.
This park sucks. You're ruining my park. What would you do? I just gave you can't take my idea because I think actually it's kind of interesting, I think. So
all I can think of right now is Haunted Mansion.
Why is that?
Because I'm surrounded by Haunted Mansion right now.
What? You're like, man, he took all the good ideas. I'm like, yeah, mine were pretty good.
You know, I'm not a creative person. I am the Roy Disney in the situation. I'm the metric, you're the magic.
So I just gave you a ton of magic, and you're like, I don't think we can afford all this.
Yeah. That is actually what I thought. Is just like, that's a lot of rights you got to get.
Yeah, we got to get a lot of rights.
Yeah.
I mean, you have nothing to add to this?
Zach, I'm an accountant that works in finance.
What would you like to see? You're the one who wants to go there all the time. What would you want to see in a park? Besides a Colin Firth meet and greet.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh my God. Think broader, weirdo.
Darth Vader.
Oh my God. This is like, what comes to your mind when I say sponge? Sponge. You're terrible at this.
I am. That's why this is your episode.
You just wanted me to keep talking because you're like, just keep saying ideas.
No,
Maybe something will spark, and you're like, oh shoot.
I am trying to think of stuff. I see a Ratatouille sign over there.
Oh my God. You can't just remake Epcot. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, maybe we have
like their lands, their countries. Oh crap!
World a Pixar section.
Oh my God.
That's like the lesser focused on Pixar. What if you had a Coco Land?
I would dig a Coco Land. Yes, that's fine.
Like a whole, like you're in, you've crossed the Carnation Bridge thing or Marigold Bridge. I mean,
all right, I'm liking this now. I'm back in.
And you're on that side.
Well, what would the rest of the theming be though? Afterlife.
Yeah, Coco.
All of it's the whole park is like Afterlife themed.
Oh, no. I'm saying that's like
really
one of the hubs.
That's one of the hubs.
One of the spokes. Yeah.
Well, would you want to touch on like other Pixar properties that don't get as much love?
Luca.
Like Brave. What would you have for Luca? Just an Italian city?
Sea monsters.
You're kind of just making Epcot right now.
I kind of am.
Sea monsters.
Okay. No Luca. No, I want Luca.
You're like, I want Onward.
I do not want to. Actually, Onward would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Or
just a pair of pants walking around.
Yeah.
I mean, you also got. Oh, we can have a bar with Soul. That'd be a kind of cool bar.
That would be cool. But okay. You know though, Pixar Place Hotel, which is where we're staying when we go to Disneyland in September.
They have that bar.
Well, they don't have that bar, but they have a piano, and Joe comes and plays at the piano.
I don't know how successful it is if you threw like not as popular Pixar things in this park. Coco is very popular. I just don't know if like enough people like those along the ones we just mentioned hit during the pandemic, so they just never got legs, which is a shame because I really like Soul.
Soul is really good. Luca is
Luca. That's fine.
That one's like one of my favorite Pixar.
I think Onward's fine. I think it could have been better, but yeah, like all those drowned. So, but what else you got besides Coco Land? I think that's a good idea. Whole Coco Land, that'd be so good. Aesthetics would be insane on that.
Yes. Oh, and when you're walking from one land to the other, it's like you're walking across the Marigold Bridge.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was the idea.
Maybe
the wheels are turning.
Like, no, I'm going back to Epcot. I was going to say a whole frozen land. Like they have in Asia.
Well, this already exists, but like an actual San Francisco kind of sounds cool to me. But if you did like with actual rides,
so do like a Big Hero 6 spoke.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Like, okay. Now I figured out the theme. Like imagined lands. So you got San Francisco, you got the Land of the Dead. You could do like Hades Underworld for like a dark square.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
So we're doing like lands that aren't really real.
Hades Underworld and split with like Olympus, maybe.
Okay, so we got like a Greek mythology kind of section. What's another imagined world that you would do then? That's like from the movies. That's like a not real, but like
yeah.
Well, they're already doing Zootopia. I feel like because that could have been one of them. Isn't that's happening, right?
No, they're just doing a Zootopia show to replace.
So you could do a Zootopia
Life.
Area then.
Yeah, I think Zootopia would be a lot of fun, and they have that at.
It'd be really cool.
One of those Asian parks. I can't remember which one.
What else has like an imagined world like that? That's like a huge world building thing. In this, you can actually add the Star Wars stuff because that's an imagined world. So you could do like a
Geonosis.
Everyone wants a bug planet. I mean, yeah, we're going to hang out with Darth Maul and Dathomir.
Oh, that would be kind of...
No, it would be terrible. Just like witches and just like a bunch of Darth Mauls walking around.
Hmm.
Sauvage.
If they wanted it, it'd be scary.
Sauvage Press. I mean, what's another one? I mean, I'm sure there's tons that we're missing.
It is hard to.
Could you do Oz?
No,
You know, like even though
no, that's Universal.
I thought it was MGM.
Universal bought it, I'm pretty sure. But
Actually, Amazon bought MGM. So,
let's see.
but they were on the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah, because they were licensed from MGM.
Yeah, but you know how cool an Ozland would be? That'd be dope. Oh man.
Oh, but that's like already speculation for like Universal.
But imagine if your central like thing.
Okay, Warner Brothers owns the rights to the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz. So.
Because that, you know how dope it would be to like if your symbol is the Emerald City. That's like your castle
You're
is the
walking
Emerald
down the
City.
yellow brick road. That's your main street.
That's your main street, and
through
you
Munchkin
see
Land?
the Emerald City as your main focal point, as like your castle, basically.
Man,
I know, missed opportunity.
I
and
hope
you take the bridge to Coco Land.
if Universal opens like a fifth park, that's what they do.
Just thinking Oz.
Yeah.
Because does Epic have a central thing like that, like to look at, like
It's
a castle?
Helios.
Helios. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So back to ones we could actually do, because Oz would have been great, but we can't. Even though the Great and Powerful Oz is a Disney movie.
It's
How's that work?
complicated. I don't know.
I feel like you could start wiggle around that and make your own like Emerald City. That was their movie. That was like 2015 or something, right?
I think it was before then. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll say a maybe on that one. We'll see what rights we can get to. Even though we're not making any of this and this is nonsense.
I do remember when that movie came out, like they had to do a lot of tiptoeing on things.
It's the Wizard of Oz.
I don't think they could use Dorothy, for instance, or like any of the principal
I think she
characters.
was in it, I thought.
Dorothy?
I don't know.
No.
I think Return to Oz is actually Disney too.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was on D Plus actually. Terrifying movie. Very cool effects.
Anyways, I don't know how all that works, you know.
It sounds like it's a gray area that we could get away with as our central figures being their central structure is the Emerald City as in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a fireworks show over the Emerald City?
Oh, shut up.
Like shimmering off all the green.
Oh, but it's like poppies exploding.
Like, well, imagine like if it was all like acrylic or glass or whatever, and the fireworks would be reflecting off of that. That'd be insane. Gorgeous. This is a missed opportunity. You could shoot lights at night up into the sky through the green.
All right, Disney or Universal, whoever's listening, please do it.
Man,
please.
We're so good at this. We're so good at this. What else would you do? Treasure Planet.
Atlantis would be cool.
Atlantis could go into that same realm of like the Hades stuff because it's like a lost city. Could go right next to it.
I think my park's way better than the literary one, though.
I don't know. Literary, I think, still has some cool ideas there. There's something there. I don't know. I think we said most of the stuff. Kind of drawing a blank now, but I think we had some good ideas. I have no idea what they're gonna do, but
I'm trying to just like think through the timeline of Disney. Ooh, if they had like a Fantasia section.
It'd be interesting, actually.
Like all the different things you could do from Fantasia.
You think, and they could interweave like both versions, I guess, if they wanted to.
Yeah, but let's stick with the original.
Yeah, let's have like a Chernabog section.
Bring back Pleasure Island.
Oh, a whole section that's just Pleasure Island.
Yeah,
it's like adults only,
but not
after dark.
I was gonna say not the nightclub version though.
And I want all my theme bars in here. Like you can go crazy. Wizard of Oz theme bar.
You can make a whole Tron section.
That's an imagined world right there.
That would be really cool.
There
the grid.
Go. We could just have the grid.
You have the grid, and that's where you get your Zeus bar.
You finally did it.
Yep.
By Jove, we've done it. We've made the perfect park. As long as we have the rights to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Or my literary park.
Both are good, but I think there's a clear winner here.
There's still my ideas, I feel like, for the most part on that second one.
Yeah, but I'm the one who inspired it, so.
Did you?
You could also do like Roger Rabbit Toontown.
I said that.
Did you?
I said I can do that Roger Rabbit. I can do the Ink and Paint Club.
Oh, you said that. You didn't say a whole Toontown.
They have Toontown in California. It's not the same thing, but
it's not the same thing.
You do the Toontown. Yeah, that's what I want. It'd be a lot of weird licensing things if they actually did Roger Rabbit in the park.
You can have a Rocketeer ride in your new park.
Oh man, that could go in the steampunk like Jules Verne section if you want.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good section, but it's not Jules Verne.
I know, but like he falls into that steampunky 20,000 Leagues aesthetic kind of thing. So,
Oh, what if you had a whole Halloween town? not Halloween town, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Boogie Boogie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like had that as like a whole section.
Now we're talking. That could be my spooky section, my other park.
That'd be really cool.
Then you can have the Haunted Mansion that's only skinned as that. And you can put Sleepy Hollow in there too. You can put all the spoopy stuff in there, like Sleepy Hollow and Halloween Town and Jack Skellington, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I think we said our piece.
Yeah, I think
As far as good luck, Disney. We just gave you a bunch of good ideas, I feel like. There's some gems in there, I think.
let's do it.
If you guys can retain the rights to Wizard of Oz somehow and make Emerald City your focal point as like your castle in your spoke in your wheel, and that's the center, and then utilize whatever we just said, like imagined worlds.
Yeah,
What would you call the park? Just imagined worlds?
maybe. Why not?
It doesn't really roll off the tongue. We have to really workshop that one. I don't know. Tell me where you can find us.
You can find us on Instagram at Backlot Tours, on our website, backlottours.com. And you can stream us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow, and leave us a review. The ratings really help boost us.
Boost us.
And we love seeing that too.
We love positive reinforcement.
And if you'd like to plan your own Disney vacation to this unannounced fifth gate or the real parks or Universal, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you.
Take us home.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
It's shining at the end of every day. Boom.
The end of every Emerald City.